And we're back. It's the Live Actually podcast with yours truly, Four Corners. And I know I say this all the time, but today I truly have one of my favorite people in the entire universe on the show. We connected a couple years ago on Instagram, and the first time we met in person, I invited her to a studio session in Vancouver. We hit it off immediately, and we recorded a song that ended up on my debut album that night. She is one of the most talented, energetic, and hilarious people I know. And in this conversation, we talk everything from that initial studio session, her current musical projects, and her future entrepreneurial and academic goals. So without further ado, this is Temia.
Wow, we're here.
Professional and shit.
Slating.
Just out here slating.
I love slating.
What's going on? We are back on Live Actually, and I have another one of my favorite humans in the universe here at the loft. Make some noise for Temia. When I say Mia, you say Temia.
Mia. Mia.
How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic and better that you're here.
I'm
Finally
so
back
happy.
in the city. We were just
I
talking. It's
know.
been a year.
I know. I'm sorry, guys.
The last time you were here, we performed together
Yes, we
at
did.
the Manifesto
Oh
Festival.
my God, so fun.
It was incredible.
That was so fun.
And you are back here again to perform this week
Yes.
at
twice.
Canadian Music Week. I thought it was
Yes.
one performance. It's actually two performances.
Two. Yeah.
How you feeling about that? You
I'm
excited?
feeling great. I'm really excited. I feel like I haven't performed in Toronto in over a year. And like, I feel like even my set list, like it's all brand new music. So everybody's going to get, except for one, you know, there's always one song I have to perform when I'm out here.
I feel like I know what you're talking about.
Look at me, who would have thought that?
I'll just beatbox. You don't need to try.
Cut out
Of
the
course.
beat. Cut out the beat. We don't need
Headspace Freestyle, the track that
Yes.
you blessed me with the day that we met,
Literally.
that landed on my album.
Literally.
I would love to tell that story. I don't know if we've told that on
We've told that story
on
like
camera
18
before.
times, but
Have we
let's tell
recorded it? We talk about it. I don't know if we've ever recorded that story.
Yeah, we've never recorded it.
There we go. And we've
Let's tell
definitely not recorded it on my show because this is a brand new show and the first time you're
Exactly.
here. So let's talk about that. But
Let's talk
before
about it.
we get to that, I've seen you perform from several vantage points, including being on stage with you.
Yeah.
You're about to hit the stage a couple times this week
Yeah.
for Canadian Music Week.
Yeah.
For anyone who has not experienced a Temia show, what are they in for?
A lot of silliness. Let me be real. A lot of laughing. But I feel like the reason why I'm always so comfortable on stage is because the audience makes me comfortable. So that's why I'm always giggling. It's like we're all coming together like friends. Like I know you guys from somewhere. You guys definitely know me from somewhere. So I feel like it's always a good time when I'm on stage. I feel like my music and my cadence is very clear. It's always like I have a direction with what I'm saying. I'm talking to somebody. And yeah, it's always a turn up, like all the time. Like you can never come to like a Temia performance and be bored. Like something's gonna happen. Either like the show's really good, or like I'm rapping really good, or like I fall over. It's happened a couple times.
Something's going to happen.
Something will
You know what? I can attest to everything that you've said. And my impression from your performances, which is my favorite part, is it all, and because I know you personally, who you are now, who you are chilling is who you are on stage. And to me, Temia,
Yes.
it always feels like you're just hanging out with the people.
Yeah.
Like it feels like a chill session where I'm going to perform my songs, but like we're chilling
With my
and we're
guys.
conversing, and like it's always such a like an interactive experience. It's not, hey, look at me. It's, we turning up together.
Exactly.
Is that on purpose?
It is on purpose. I feel like there's no performance that I can have without people like kind of gassing me up. And not in the sense that it has to be like, 1,000 people. Even if it's literally like 4 people, I make eye contact with every single one of them. And I feel like I chat to them like we're just like chilling, we're vibes, like, we're hanging out. And even after my performances, like if I see somebody who was like shaking like their ass like extra hard, I'll go up to them, I'll give them a hug, I'll tell them like I really appreciate you just like being involved in my performance because you're just as much of a part of it as I am.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I know that you're an extreme extrovert.
Yeah.
You have no problem getting in front of people and being who you are.
Yeah.
But even as an extrovert, it's not easy to get up on stage
It's hard.
and do your thing like that because, and I don't think people really understand that much. People that go to shows, I don't think they think about that part of it. It's like everything that they see not only has a lot of work and energy and money gone into it, but also just the fact that you're stepping out there,
Exactly,
doing you, and like sharing what you created.
Yeah,
that's not an easy thing to do, and their participation is much more appreciated than I think that most people understand.
Yeah, people think it's just going on stage and like boom, 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 you perform for people. I kind of feel like you perform with the people. Like you really, I feel like that's what brings that like symbiotic
relationship. It's a relationship.
It's like us. We're performing.
That's exactly how I feel. That's how I approach my shows. I always have. And I noticed that about you from jump. And I have to say, I'm going to give you some flowers right now. You have not been doing this that long, but your presence from the very beginning, stepping on stage, has always been like, yo, she's got it.
Oh my God, that's so sweet.
She's got it. Even
Why are you crying?
Manager Jackie in the back shedding a single tear. Even the show, particularly the show that I did at the Rivoli here in Toronto that I had you perform at when I dropped my album.
That was so fun.
Yes.
Do you remember? Oh my God, I'm pretty sure I was like 6 shots deep when I was
Yes, you were. But that show, one of my homies who goes by the name of David Cox, we call him Click, is his nickname. I know him. Click is a true old head, real connoisseur of the roots of hip hop and the history and everything to do with it. And when I say old head, I don't mean he's one of those guys that's like, oh, I don't like that new stuff. No. He's learned. He's knowledgeable, and he's been around in the business in various roles around the country and around the world for a very long time. So I'm bringing him up to say, when he gives his stamp of approval, it means something. And of everything that happened on that stage that night, he was like, who's that Temia chick? And I was like, I know, right?
That's crazy.
So, yes.
You know, I saw him in Kelowna after that.
Yeah. I
saw him there.
At that festival out there?
Yeah, that festival. And I was like, what are you doing here?
Little Spider-Man moment. What are you doing? No, Click is everywhere, man. Anywhere there's black music, he is, especially in Canada, he is going to show a face. And he's one of my OGs. He's one of my, like, most trusted advisors. Like, if I ever have a question, and I'm telling you this as well, so you know, if you ever have a question, if you ever want to know something, if you ever need an opinion, you can hit him up. He will absolutely. I'm giving flowers to Click too.
No, he's
solid stand-up dude, and is a true fan of music. So he was very, very excited about you that day, and I know he has been since. And I just want to make sure you know that, because I'm not sure you knew.
I did not know that, but now I do.
Yeah.
Because every time I felt like I met him or we were in the same like areas or vicinity, it's always love. It's like I know this person or we've known each other from time.
Yeah.
That's the type of vibe I get from him, and I feel like really comfortable around him. So I'm just like, I love this.
He's got that energy, and he's always going to be nice and polite.
Yeah.
But I promise you, the treatment that you got is because he actually fucks with you.
Oh, that's crazy.
Because if he doesn't fuck with an artist, he'll be nice as a human, but like he's not going to show this level of love that you were feeling. That's like, I know what that is.
So this is the exclusive.
That's the exclusive.
That's crazy. Thank you, David.
But yeah, let's get back into the song that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Headspace Freestyle. First of all, the song is called Headspace Freestyle because we recorded it at Headspace Studios in Vancouver.
Yep.
The story of how this song came together is one of the most organic of any of the music
Literally.
that I've made in my entire career.
I could not write a better script.
No. So to cut it, without going like into too much detail, we're going to go into detail, but like without dragging it on and talking about this for an hour. I was on tour. I like to tap in with local artists wherever I am. And we had connected online prior to me coming out west. And I said, yo, I'm going to be at the studio. If you can pull up, pull up. And I'm going to be honest, I thought you lived in Vancouver proper. So I was like,
White Rock.
I thought that it was going to be like, yeah, you could just swing through or whatever. I didn't know you had to mission to get there. But when you did, I super appreciated it. I was like, wow, I had no idea. You're like, yo, I can be there in an hour and a half. And I'm leaving now. Like, what? I thought an hour, because you're doing something and then you're going to pull. No, I'm leaving now. I'm on my way.
The journey starts now.
Yeah. I was like, wow, thank you. Because like we don't know each other.
Yep.
And I appreciate that.
Yep.
But also, when you walked in, the vibes were just so great.
Yeah.
And we just started talking. And this is how I like to make music with artists in general, whether I know you or not. The session starts with a chill. The session starts with, let's talk and get to know each other, see what vibe we're on. Let's catch our vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's see, let me ask you, what are you into? What are you listening to right now?
Yeah.
What did you eat today? Like, how is your week?
Yeah.
So we can get on the same frequency. And then I remember just starting to cook up a beat while conversation was happening. I just got a little bit of inspiration based on what you were saying. And also based on, I knew what kind of music you liked going in. And I remember going to the bathroom, putting it on loop, going to the bathroom and coming back, and you were like, yo, let me try something. I was like, what are you even talking about? And you spit the whole song in one take.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, I don't think I've ever asked you this. It's like, what were you even thinking about when because we were all mid-conversation. I'm just cooking this beat from scratch.
Yeah.
It was just a loop. It wasn't even that deep yet.
Yeah.
And you just got a little quiet and you were in your phone. Yeah. And I knew you were writing something. I didn't know it was going to be that. Yeah. What was going on in your head at that time?
I feel like in the moment, I was like, okay, I have to put something down. Like, even if it's not like a full song with like a hook. Because in my head, I'm like, okay, what's the hook going to be like? What's this going to be like? I knew I had to put something down. And I was like, okay, let me just think about how to start this and how to end it. And then I will fill it in with some bars that I have stuck in my head somewhere. Something will work with this. And I didn't realize I was going to be able to do it in one take. I just felt like it just had to be done in a way that I feel like would make sense to me. Like, even if I had to do it a couple of times, I was okay with that. It just so happened that as soon as like we laid it down, everybody was like screaming and I was like, oop. Gotta go.
For real, though, it was honestly one of my most cherished studio memories because of the fact that it was such a vibe. It was just so much fun. But again, you shocked me. Yeah. And at the end of the record, when we're actually yelling, that is not a skit. That
real.
Was not planned. That wasn't real.
Planned. It wasn't planned. The yelling and all like the screaming and the laughing was like, that's how it happened in the studio.
And then your laugh.
Yeah, and then I
which was just the most comical, full body laugh that I'm so happy we got that. I'm so happy it was still recording.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that like the mic was still on as we were like all screaming and like laughing. That was perfect.
Yeah, no, that is... And the record turned out fantastic, and it didn't even need a hook.
Yeah.
It didn't need a hook. That was one of those ones that as a producer, I made the call that I was like, because we could have continued to work on it.
Yeah, yeah.
I was so in love with the magic that we created in that moment that I'm like, nah, let it be this. Yeah. And I hope that through this recording, people can feel that energy. And the feedback that I've gotten, number one, people are like, ooh, the beat's nasty.
So good. Yo, the beat. Oh my gosh, the beat is insane.
It was like my take on drill, UK style drill, but like with a little bit of an electronic sensibility to it, because I'm like, I grew up on hip hop and all kinds of soul and R&B and rock and everything that my parents would play in the house. But when I got into producing, it started with electronic music first. So everything that I do always has some sort of a electronic sensibility to it, or most things that I do. I can't say everything, but most things. And that was one that I was just like, I don't want to do a regular UK drill beat. I'm not from the UK. I go to London a lot.
Not a regular girl.
I'm a cool girl. I'm a cool producer. I'm not a regular producer. That's an inside joke. No, but I have to have my hat like this when I say
I'm a cool producer.
Kid, I say also, I forgot to mention, you pulled up to the studio with a pink trucker hat.
I did.
Like this.
To the side.
And you're like, I'm not a regular gal. I'm a cool gal.
Yo, and we've literally been remixing and rinsing that one joke out for 2 years. It's crazy.
Never die. Never die. No, but for real, I was just on some like, I don't want to do this in the way that other people have done it. I want to try something different.
Yeah.
And what you brought to the record, it was just perfect. Lightning in a bottle.
It was actually lightning in a bottle. I couldn't believe the way it turned out because even when I listened to it, I was like, yo, this is kind of fire. This is kind of fire.
Still to this day, when I listen to it, I'm like, shit,
I
we
love
did
that song.
We did that.
I love that song. It doesn't matter what I'm doing in Toronto. Freestyle.
Very, very, very happy about how that one. Yeah, so if you haven't heard Headspace Freestyle, you need to check that out.
Right now.
And that was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Since then, you dropped some other records.
Some.
But I noticed that you have not dropped in a while. I've noticed that it's almost a year to the day since you dropped the last record. But I know you've been cooking.
How'd you know that?
Because I know you. Because I know you.
Who told you that?
So I want to know what you cooking. What are we hearing? Are we hearing some of this at CMW? You said we're gonna hear some stuff for the first time. Is it some new stuff that you've been cooking recently?
Yeah.
What's the vibe? What's the direction? What are we saying?
I'm in I would say like pink girly era right now. I feel like
in your soft girl.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of my music is very like.
It is. I was going to say that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because you are, I mean, that's one of the things that really strike people about you, I know, is like they see you and you're like, oh, look at this pretty young girl. And then you're just like, and it's like, whoa. Not only does she have bars, but like her voice is powerful and her aura is just large.
She's scaring the hoes.
And it's like the hardest beats that you choose.
Yeah, literally.
But you've also done some stuff that's like on a little bit of Afro wave type vibe too.
Yeah.
But what are you feeling right now? What's the direction lately?
So I have this song coming out. It's called Mini. And it's very like Afro pop type, vibes. I'm still rapping.
Of course you are.
I feel like just because I'm in like my cute pink era doesn't mean I'm still not going to be rapping my ass off. So I'm still going to be rapping.
It's funny that you're talking about your cute pink era and you pulled up in all black leather.
I mean, my nails.
Okay.
Nail cam.
Okay. We'll get a close up on the nails there. Boom, 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 boom.
Get a little close up. So my nails are still there. That's personal to me. But yeah, it's called Mini. It's just like cute little song. We have something for you. Actually, we forgot it, but we shall remember.
Got something for me?
Yeah, just a little. It's just
all right.
Nothing crazy.
All good.
But yeah, like I'm in my like little cute era. Like I have a song like Strawberry Kisses, like just cute little like bops that I feel like a lot of people will enjoy, guys and girls alike. Yeah, I feel like I didn't have to compromise on like the bars or anything, but the sound is definitely like
okay.
It's a vibe.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be at these shows.
Oh, really?
So I'm curious. You're like, no, yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, I just got the craziest deja vu.
Really?
Like just now.
I love that because I haven't been living here for that long.
Oh my God.
That is amazing.
Just you saying that, me laughing, looking at Kenneth laughing, like craziest deja vu.
We're in alignment.
Yes.
We are where we're supposed to be.
And you have my favorite book, right?
The Alchemist is your favorite book?
Yes.
That is my favorite book.
Yes.
That's why it's right there.
Yeah. I love that book.
Yes.
Yes.
Amazing.
I read it at least like once a year. Along
Me
with
too.
Kabbalion.
I talk about this all the time.
Do you read the Kabbalion?
No, what's that?
Please. It's by the 3 initiates. It's called the Kabbalion. And it's basically just like the Hermetic order and like the different like rules they follow. So even though it's published under the 3 initiates, like nobody knows who the author is. Like it's literally a secret.
I love that.
You have to read it, and I always read it in conjunction with.
Okay, bet. Give me the information. Like send
it's
it.
perfect.
Write it down. I'm in.
It really opens your mind, and it talks about the all. Like we are.
We definitely are.
Yes.
And you are here in Canada.
Yes.
You're living in the West Coast, which is, for those who don't know, it's quite different than the East.
Very.
We talk about Toronto like it's the East, but like there is a super East.
Whoa.
Like Halifax and Newfoundland, all that stuff. That's like East. We're kind of more central, I would like to say, but whatever. It is very different in the West. But you are becoming more and more. I mean, maybe not so much this past year.
Yeah.
But you're fairly bi-coastal in that you come through on a regular basis because you, as everybody should understand, if you're going to be in the music business, if you're going to be in entertainment in Canada, you got to move around a little bit. It's more than just Toronto.
It's true.
But you also definitely have to touch Toronto.
Yeah, you do.
But you actually didn't even grow up in Canada.
At all.
You grew up in the UK.
Yes.
With Nigerian parents.
Yes.
I have to ask, what was it like growing up over there with this bug for music?
Right.
And wanting to, and like, when did you feel like, all right, this is actually what I'm going to do with my life? And how was that received within the family unit?
Nigerian household?
Yeah. Because we all have those stories.
One thing I'll say to begin with is like my family are just so supportive.
Beautiful.
Like I could go to my dad with like 3 ideas. They don't make sense in any way. And he'll just be like, when do you want to start? What do you need? I got you.
I love that. And I hope you cherish that because not everybody has that.
Oh, no.
Most people don't.
I love my family. I love my parents. Like usually if they have any opinions about anything, they'll be like, you could maybe try this. But like they trust my judgment so much that they know that I'll be regardless, and they're like, whatever you need, we got you.
I love that they're allowing you the freedom to try without them being a barrier. There's already enough barriers in the world when you're trying to do something.
Right.
You don't need a barrier in the household.
Exactly. They're like vibes. Do whatever you want. Just make sure you bring me something back when you travel, man.
That's awesome.
Got you.
So then what was it that made you want to do this?
Okay, so in the UK, I went to this school called St. Andrew CFE High School, right? And it was a music specialist school, right? So in those type of schools, because I'm pretty sure it's like the government like funds us like immensely, our music program is untouchable. Like you cannot fuck with our music program. It's crazy. Like we had we had like a music building, a music department, and we had crazy amount of studios. So that means like all this type of equipment, we had at least, I think it was like 15 different rooms. So when we'd have our music classes, like whenever we'd be asked to like go into our different rooms, we'd get into groups of like 2 or 3 and we go and we would just create anything.
Wow.
That was
basically you had access to all of this.
Yes. All the equipment you wanted. I actually recorded like one of my first songs. Like when I was at that school, I would never show anybody. It was a cover to Drake's Forever.
You should definitely show that to us.
It's so embarrassing. I had on this like fake like American accent, like a Nicki accent. It's so bad. It's really
I need to hear this.
So
tell me you have it still.
I have it,
okay,
but like
beautiful.
it's really
beautiful.
Really
Okay. On the low.
And basically I feel like I was exposed to that at a very, very young age. We'd also go to like Eucharist as like a church, which is basically like taking the school to like Catholic church. And we'd like do communion and like there'll be lots of singing. My mom enrolled me in everything possible. I used to play steel pans.
Really?
Yeah.
That I did not know.
Steel pans.
Yeah. Yo, I'm Trini, of course. I grew up on that. It was pan in my house the whole time I grew up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Steel pans. Yeah. And I just feel like being at a school that I had access to like every instrument, like steel pans. Like who would have even thought you could do that in Croydon, South London? Yeah. So it was obviously a really good time. I really enjoyed like my years in school in the UK. And then when I moved here and I went to uni in BC, I feel like I always had like the love of music, but I never thought that I could actually do it because even looking at like the people around me who were doing music, it seemed like they were in like an area where they hit a slump. It was just a very meh.
Well, it's not easy.
Yeah, it's hard.
It is not easy.
Very hard.
So then what changed your mind? Because clearly something did.
My friends.
Really?
Yeah. So like I recorded this song called Crown Freestyle. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. I was like a little bit about it because it was a remix of Heady One's song, Both.
Yeah.
I just love that beat. Yeah. So I was like, okay, let me just put a little spin to it. I recorded it with one of my friends, Edge. And he was like, you have to put this out. I sent it to all my other friends. They were like, you have to put this out. So eventually I did. And like, that was basically the start of everything. And that was 2020.
So the home team cheering section
Yeah.
let you know,
Yeah.
no, you're actually really good.
Yeah.
You cannot just do this as a hobby.
Yeah.
Take it seriously,
I don't
please.
want to be one of those people that like is kind of delusional where like they're on stage and they're like rapping or their music is playing and everyone's like scratching their head like, oh God. I just didn't want it to be one of those things.
Right.
And like I was really self-conscious about that because like you said, I feel like I'm extroverted. I usually like can do a lot of things and just go out and get what I want to get. But for something that's like such an expression that's like of me that was kind of hidden, I was like, ooh, I'm really nervous about like showing this to people.
But I think that's most artists experience that. I hope all do, but I can't say that because there's some who I hear and I'm like, I don't know that you have that inner dialogue happening. I don't know that you do because somebody's not telling you something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm a firm believer that anybody can do anything.
Yeah.
Like I'm a believer in that.
I agree.
But some people are just naturally better at things and some people it takes work.
Yeah.
And I've seen, like when you say that, like somebody on stage and you're just like,
Ooh, yikes.
I've seen my fair share of that.
Yeah.
And to me, what it says is, I know that you like it at least.
That ain't it, bro.
I know that you like it at least. I don't know if you love it though.
That ain't it, bro.
Because if you loved it,
it'd be different.
you would put some more work into it.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't be satisfied. You wouldn't be happy with what it is that you're presenting right now.
And honestly, I feel like in the world, we could do with more engineers. We could do with more carpenters. Right now, I know that people may think like being a transit driver is like not even that serious. Some of those salaries start from 130K. We
Yes,
could
they
use
do.
more of that.
Yes, they do.
Rapping is not the only way.
And no, and there's definitely a sentiment that a lot of people feel like, well, rapping is easy. So
said that?
everybody can be a rapper.
said that?
There are a lot of people that feel that way. And if you were to just take a scroll through Spotify, you would see that. And I'm not even hating on these people. I'm just saying, like, if you're going to do something, you know you got to do it. And like, this shit is not easy.
It's not.
And it's, even for the rappers, the artists that we, as people who are like really, really meticulous with,
Right.
It's got to be a high level for it to be impressive. There are a lot of things that are not like technically impressive, but there's still got to be some kind of vibe, something to it that is attractive and enjoyable for people.
Exactly.
And there are a lot of people doing music because the barrier to entry is so low that they're not taking it seriously. And if it's just a hobby thing, cool. It's just only an issue when it's like, we see hobby effort going to somebody who says that is their profession.
Yeah, we see that.
It's like, but they don't last, so it's okay. It doesn't really matter.
It's cool. It's fine.
I'm down for people to have fun though and do. I think everybody should do music
Yeah, because it's fun.
legitimately, and I think everybody should DJ.
It's so fun.
Like you don't have to be a pro,
Yeah.
but it's so fun.
It's literally so fun.
It's so fun. But like you got to have that. It's good that you have the support system around you that
Yeah.
we're able to like boost you to be like,
Exactly.
all right, get out there because you're actually really good. And it's also important to have that support system around
Self-awareness.
to be like, and self-awareness to be able to be like, you know what? You're not ready yet.
Yeah.
Let it cook some more. Let it simmer.
Exactly.
If you're going to do this, work at it and then
Yeah.
present it.
Yeah.
And you've been working at it
I've been working.
nonstop for the past few years. Despite that you haven't released a lot of music recently, like I said, I know you've been working. I know who you are as a person. I know you were a prolific writer.
Yeah.
You're constantly writing.
Yeah.
And now you're back again, and I'm happy that some new music is going to be dropping.
Yes, I'm super
very,
excited.
very happy.
Yes.
When can we see the next one?
June 21st.
June 21st. All right.
Yeah,
Sweet. So you know what? By the time this drops, it might actually already be out.
Guys, go stream Mini. It's out on all platforms. June 21st. Okay, we also have merch. It's dropping today as well. If this is out before June 21st.
Did we just start an ASMR show?
Oh my God, we did. Oh my God, I have to show you something.
What?
So for Ekene's birthday, we went to Edmonton, right?
Yeah.
And we did like a little segment of like an ASMR cut of her cake. And we were literally all whispering and like, like stupid shit like that. And Ekene almost stabbed me with the knife.
Silently.
Yeah, she almost stabbed me with the knife. But the part that makes it so funny is like instead of me screaming, like, it's like, I get a knife. In a whisper.
Don't stab me, please. And then you hear the actual flesh.
I was like, why did I stay in character so?
It's okay to break character when
It's
there's
okay.
a threat, when there's an
Literally.
actual life threat.
It was so funny.
Oh my gosh. So I got to ask you a question that I don't think that I've ever asked you.
Yeah.
Because I know that you love this.
Yeah.
I know that you're all in.
Yeah.
But I know that you also you're a whole human. It's not just I rap. Like it's not that. Even though I always tell you rap. That's literally what I text you sometimes. Rap.
Go write some shit.
When all is said and done, when you're looking back, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, what does success in this mean to you? What does that look like?
Oh, that's such a good question, because even just outside of my music, like in 5 to 10 years, I want to have a successful consulting firm and open a music school. So it's like, that's like my version of like, I did what I needed to do.
Yes.
Just because I feel like, especially with the music school direction, I feel like I've acquired a lot of knowledge from like a lot of people like yourself, and just meeting different types of people in the industry, that I feel like there needs to be some sort of like school that's dedicated to this. And because coming from the UK, I feel like there's not really much of that type of support or structure for like kids to kind of get into the music industry, because it's like, okay, you're 17 or you're 15, you want to rap. What happens next? Okay, you can actually enroll in this high school that also provides post-secondary education for you to go ahead and become a so-and-so producer or so-and-so artist. And it also helps that my dad runs a school too, so I have that little support.
That is correct. So you have the background of what it takes to put together a curriculum and run a school. That is amazing, especially because you went to a music school. This feels like you had a fantastic experience.
It was amazing.
It helped shape your life, and you want to pay that forward.
Yes, I have to. Like unmatched, completely unmatched. Even some of the stuff that I felt like I would never use. Like I also was a theater kid as well, and that completely helped me in like different ways. Just like the different extracurriculars that are offered, I felt like maybe I'm not aware to it, but like I feel like this side of the world maybe doesn't have that much programs, especially the west side of Canada. No shade.
No, we're not hating on the west side of Canada,
No
but it's facts. There are just not a lot of opportunities, and it will take people to create these things in order for those opportunities to exist for generations to come.
Yeah, just get the kids in, music school, or you want to play drums for this artist one day. That's crazy. We have connects to this person's team. Our network spans over many different countries. Come to our school. And
and also, and this is something that I really want people to understand, there are more roles in the music business besides just being on stage.
Absolutely.
There are so many very fulfilling, exciting, lucrative
very
positions that can be filled if you are open to being a part of the machine that makes this happen. The end result is looking out at that crowd and seeing everybody have a great time.
Absolutely.
What it takes for all of that to come together takes more than a village. It takes a city of people.
Yeah.
And it would be great if there was more opportunities and more light shed on that for people to understand that, hey, I can be a part of that thing even if I'm not a great rapper. You can be okay with that and still be a part of it and be involved in making it happen.
Exactly.
So thank you so much for coming through.
Yes.
I love that you're here.
Yay.
And I can't wait to see you hit the stage this week.
I'm so excited to see you.
Live actually continues. Temia, thank you again.